LucasArts games were my entire childhood, and of these games, I'll tell you what I played. I played Day of the Tentacle. That game was so amazing. The sequel, not as good, but that first Day of the Tentacle, oh my god! And like all the hours I spent trying to figure out all the things, and do you remember the hotline? You had to like call like a 1-900 number to get hints. I don't think my dad was happy about that. We only called when it was like absolutely necessary, okay? Because remember, the internet wasn't really out yet. So you couldn't just like search for things. You either had to get like a magazine or you really just had to call this 1-800 number to pay to get tips, which was crazy. Full Throttle was super cool. Full Throttle was like this like badass guy, and it was like really interesting. Like the storyboarding, the creativity of the whole world that they built. I found it like so dystopian yet just really compelling. Nothing's been like that. Like I think a Full Throttle movie would be super cool just because it's a whole world in its own that we've never seen. Oh my god, look at this row of Monkey Island. Monkey Island, that was my jam. I loved obviously the original one, which has like no voices. It's all text-based RPG. But the music was so good. And then just the whole thing, I swear though, like Pirates of the Caribbean copied so much from Monkey Island when they made the movie version. Because obviously like when they had the ride in Disneyland from back in the day, that's supposed to be what Pirates of the Caribbean, the movie, was about. But honestly, like, come on, the whole like the Creole sorceress lady, that's so directly out of Monkey Island. Because in I think Pirates of the Caribbean 2 or 3, she's like a major character. You know, she's like telling the future. I'm like, that is so Monkey Island. And then, okay, there's just a lot of things. I played some other ones too. The Star Wars ones, we had them, but I was never into any game that involved flying. Like my brothers would play those, but I wasn't really into Pilot Wings or any sort of like flight simulators. Like those were never my thing. I liked the RPG, which was and what I liked about this style of game is that you couldn't lose and you couldn't die. Whereas like in King's Quest, those were RPGs where you literally just died every second, and it was like really frustrating. Also, I used to play Return to Zork. I never played the original Zork, but Return to Zork also, you made one mistake in the beginning or missed. If you made one mistake, it's like you had to start the whole game over, and I just don't have the patience for that. So even though sometimes in Monkey Island or Day of the Tentacle, I'd have to like run around forever to basically like figure out what's the next thing. I've tried every single action because it's all verb based, like pick up this item, look at this item, smell this item, whatever, walk over there. And sometimes you'd have to figure out like combine this item with that. Like sometimes you'd have to just go over every single combination and be like, what stone did I leave unturned? But eventually you could figure it out. Versus those King's Quest genre, it's like forget about it. I used to try to play King's Quest 6, and it starts with like the girls singing, you know, I want to go and hide, you know. But yes, I have watched, and I've definitely watched full replays of Day of the Tentacle and some of the Monkey Islands. I really like the Monkey Island where they have the duel, and it's like, I choose the banjo, and then it's like, it's like the Deliverance banjo off. And I also like the part where they're the pirate song when they're like and they're like, a band of vicious pirates, we're sailing out to sea, and then you have to do the rhymes until they basically stop singing. But I freaking love that song. You know, a pirate I was meant to be, trim the sails and roam the sea, whatever. I thought that was a really good song. So yes, I love these games so much. Would people watch me replay these? Because I mean, there's already like full playthroughs on YouTube, but I guess with my perspective, it could be interesting. But yeah, I just thought this was such a golden age of RPG, and I think games like this could be really, really popular again. And I've actually like tried to show my kids the playthroughs of these, and they're just like, "What are we watching?" Especially Dave the Tentacle, because they're just like, "Why was this interesting?" I'm like, "Trust me, like when you were in it, it was everything."